Good morning, Michael Walsh here with Roger Norwal. Recovering from my illness, I tested and I was positive for COVID, so I've been pretty sick for a couple of days, but we're getting through it. Just not a lot of energy, so I just have to take it easy and take my time. We're going to adjust some sheep today. These ewes, they were the in-between group. She actually was a cycle late, so she's 2 weeks behind the others, the youngest one there. And then the two Dorpers are the ones that were a mismating. So these are like in-between lambs. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them in with the Dorpers, and the Dorpers, we just have them on high-quality roughage and pasture. So that's, and I did that with the IDFs last year too. So these three will go in with those, and then be on pasture. And that's going to save us grain feeding the ewes and also save us grain on the lambs. So we'll get these fences down and get them adjusted. Well, I got a little bit done today. We got the other two does and the twins and 3 of the 4 quads on that doe moved down to the shed. Took delivery of 14 bales of hay. I probably need about another 20 or so to see us through, but this will tide us over for about a month, and he thinks he has some more for me, so that's good. We took delivery of our portable generator, which I have to assemble it, and of course it doesn't come with very good instructions, and all the pieces aren't there, so I have to call them and try to get that done. And then I ordered a new attachment for the loader, a manure attachment. We're using the other one now. It's just a bale spear. It bent and it wasn't heavy duty, so decided to keep it for a bale spear. It works well. I ordered a new attachment for the manure to haul manure with. Well, I think, I don't know for sure, but there's 9 pieces that came, and they delivered it to my neighbor instead of to us. So, and our address is clearly marked on the driveway, which is really frustrating. People don't pay attention to anything. They just punch a button and go where the arrow points and don't double check. So I had to go get that. The other part was supposed to be delivered today, and it wasn't in yet, so they called and they're scheduled to deliver it on Monday. So kind of frustrating on that. And I thought there were 10 spears, maybe only 9, but anyway, they only delivered 9, so we'll have to sort that out when that comes. So anyway, I am feeling better. It was pretty sick there for a couple days, just no energy at all. I've done a little bit today, taking my time, and got a little bit to do tomorrow. These guys, I expanded their pen, and they are escape artists. We've had to modify this a couple different times. Had to put this plywood up, and we had to put that board on there before we expanded the pen. But they're up to 7 ounces of feeding 4 times a day, so they're coming along pretty well. And we feed them through that green gate over there because they can just stick their mouth through, and the other goats can't push it off. So we just use that as a place to feed them the milk. So anyway, that's it for today, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow. It's Saturday, March the 15th, and it's a very windy day here. Fortunately, we didn't have any severe storms. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the people down south by the tornado damage and loss of life down there. I think you can see the haze in the air. That is actually dust blowing. It is so dry here. The areas don't have any ground cover. That's just the topsoil blowing away. So we're still in a pretty much a drought situation. We had minimal snow this winter, and we really need rain. So hopefully we'll make up for it this spring. But that haze is actually dust in the air. But if you notice, the lambs over there laying in the shelter of that, and then the kids were kind of chilled here. So I put this divider in, and it's got a solid partition there, so that breaks the wind for them. So they'll be able to get in there out of the wind, out of the draft. But the ones we brought down yesterday seem to be doing well. So everyone's adjusting, and the kids are using the creep station. So got some hay in there. They nibble on the hay. They're actually nibbling on the grain too. So And after I put up that shield for them, they'll go in there, and a lot of them were in there this morning laying down, so they like to go in there and get away from the does. It is feeding time for the bottle babies. They're up to 7 ounces, and we feed them 4 times a day, about 4 hours apart, 8, 12, 4, and 8. And that holds them pretty well. They're taking it really well. They take it through the gate, so it avoids fighting. So I'll show you how we do that. We expanded their pen, and as you can see, it's kid-proof because they're climbing out and jumping out. You got to keep track who gets what. So the ones with the white on the top of their heads, those are all bucks, and the little black one's a buck. And then the 2 with no white on their face are doelings. And the big one over there, he's got kind of some lighter color over his shoulders there, you can see. And once in a while there's a bottle that has more than the rest, and there is one that has 8 ounces, so I give that to him. So we'll start with him, and we let them stick their nose through the gate, that way they can't push each other off. Just like that. And then that way, with it stuck through that little hole, the others can't come up and push him off. They'll try, but they won't. We just do that one at a time until they're all done. You can make a bottle feeder, which I might do that, but no longer than it takes. We'll just do it this way. And they're catching on really fast. That little black one, he was the quad that we pulled off the last set. And it only took 2 attempts, and he started drinking right away. So he's holding his own. They are cute, but boy, they are determined little guys. Yep, there we go. A little more. And we just pull another one. So we'll see, they kind of fight and push against each other. Try to get this guy. Here we go. Yeah, they latch on and they don't give up, so. We're learning to recognize which ones are which, because that way you don't get mixed up and miss one of them or give another one too much. But it is important to get them to stick their nose through and then have them push against the gate. That way the others can't push in and push them off, because otherwise they fight like crazy. Some of the nipples have a smaller hole because we started out with a small hole when they're real little, and that's probably one of these bottles here because it takes them a lot longer to drink it. When they get older, you can use a bigger hole. If it's too big when they're starting out, then they tend to kind of choke on it. All right, where's the other one? Here's the little guy here. All right. This one's got a bigger hole, so it won't take him very long. I usually either start with girls, the 2 girls, and then work my way down the boys list, or I start with the boys and work my way towards the girls, because that way you can keep track of it easier. Don't get mixed up. So, little black one's next. There you go. Like I say, they've really caught on to this well. Used to be you had to cup your hand and guide them to the nipple, but they'll go for anything that's hanging out there. You gotta be careful when you go in there. They'll bite you. Your finger, they try to latch onto your finger. You see that one next to him is a little girl, and she's just pushing and just determined. All right, she'll be next. Come here. You have to have some way of protecting the one nursing, because if you try to do it in the middle of all of it, it's just a nightmare. Everybody's biting and pushing and getting mixed up, and so this works pretty well. Alright, and the tiny one's last. Where you at? There you go. There's yours. For some reason, this one reminds me of a fawn. I don't know why, but maybe it's their coloring markings. I don't know. You can see those two there. They bite onto something and they just push. They don't give up. They're pushing against each other. They are determined. And I'm feeling better. Like I said, I had COVID. I'm getting over it. Just still tired. And Roger has started to chill and cough a bit today, so he's coming down with it. So he's got to go through it yet. But we went out to dinner a week ago tonight, and I'm sure that's where we caught it. We were in the back room, and there's a big party back there, and everybody loud and everything. And I thought I was coming down with a head cold on Monday, and then Tuesday I really felt really bad, so that's when I took the COVID test, and it was positive. So anyway, that's our go. See those two pushing? They just lock in and they just push against each other. So that's a feeding session. Very pleased. They're doing very well.